and welcome to Unbox Learning. You're with me, Surbi, and today I am glad that I have been able to pull in a wonderful, teacher who has been with the preschoolers for quite a long period of time, and she's been very creative and innovative with her work. I am very pleased to welcome Rita Roy on my channel, and I'm really thankful to you, Rita ma'am, that you could actually spare your time and share some valuable tips on how preschoolers can actually be trained at home and how parents can become partners in this learning process.
Hi Surbi. Hello everyone. Glad to be here. And thank you Surbi for inviting me to your channel.
Rita ma'am, what is that one element that can make teaching learning very interesting? And specifically if I talk about science, how can preschoolers be introduced to science? And do you think music can add more charm to the teaching of science?
Musical activities gives a positive result in preschoolers, and it has also been used as a very important tool to teach the young learners. As you have seen, music not only gives us a lot of joy but also a sense of high esteem. So that's how I came up with the idea of let's sing the page. Yes, you heard it right. I said let's sing the page and not read. We have seen even a 6-month-old, how they respond to music with little nod or a sway, just a wave, or even a bounce. So that's how music works. So I would say that listening, speaking, and then reading.
You shared a wonderful poem that you have composed with me, and I think when I read it, I somewhere felt that your vision of integrating creativity for teaching difficult concepts of science to a preschooler, I think it's amazing. Why don't you tell us more about it?
So in this poem, Float or Sink, I have tried to introduce the topic of buoyancy to preschoolers. Buoyancy means float or sink concept. So I have not only used a simple method, that is singing out the poem, which is describing the whole theory behind float or sink, but I have also used the names of materials which the child is familiar with, and even the activity mentioned, like dropping things into the bathtub or the wash basin which is filled with water. This is what they must have done, every child must have done and does. And thus the science topic introduced here is also something which the child has observed often. So float or sink can be taught with a simple, attractive and fun-loving method. Just sing. I fill my bathtub and drop many things. I fill my bathtub and drop many things. Why some objects float, some sink. Why some objects float, some sink. What will happen? Can you predict? When I drop into the water an ice cream stick. Why some objects float, some sink. Why some objects float, some sink. Will my toy car float or sink? Will my crayon float or sink? Will mummy's keys float or sink? Will baby's rubber ball float or sink? Will daddy's coin float or sink? I fill my bathtub and drop many things. I fill my bathtub and drop many things. Why some objects float, some sink. Why some objects float, some sink. When the upward force of the water is greater than the downward force of the object will float. When the downward force of the object is greater than the upward force of the water, the object will sink. So, now do you know why some objects float, some sink? I fill my bathtub and drop many things. Why some objects float, some sink? I fill my bathtub.
So, it's really amazing that how we can integrate different subjects, and I think this is the need of the hour too, that we do not look at subjects in as watertight compartments, but we actually see how each and every subject can be integrated and made very interesting. So this poem can, I think, very well make the children understand how what is buoyancy and what is going to float, what is going to sink. This very simple concept can be beautifully taught to the preschoolers, and I think the parents will also be engaged if we kind of follow this technique at home, and we can be partners with our children in the process of learning. Poetry can probably do wonders, music can do wonders, and probably it can make teaching learning process a lot more fun than just sticking to probably books and a set pattern. So what would be, like, since you've been with the preschoolers for a long period of time, you've observed them, and you yourself have been you yourself have groomed your own kids and worked with kids. So what is the kind of advice, the last the last kind of the crux that you would drive at, for that the parents should probably keep in mind? What would be the advice, the advice that you give to your parent, like the takeaway? What would that be?
May not respond immediately, so please give them some time. Once your child is ready, he or she will join in. The poem is of repetitive nature, and it will eventually get the attention of your child. So, don't worry, just keep singing joyfully. Thank you.
I think you were very right that keep singing joyfully. So learning should be joyful. It should be a process that makes you feel very happy and connected, and I think that's the ultimate aim of education. You should be complete in yourself. As a parent, you should feel happy. As a child, you should be happy while you are learning. You should feel curious. I think it's very important that we start inculcating the curiosity. We kind of increase the curiosity and inquisitiveness of a child. That is going to take us farther ahead. So I'm looking forward to seeing you more often on the channel, and I'm really glad that you came in, and I think the poem that you have composed is really beautiful, and I'm sure the parents are going to try that out. So parents, do recite it with your kids, add more music to it, try to make it more creative and make learning more fun. So bye bye, and thank you Rita ma'am for sparing your time and being a part of this channel, which is very small platform, but I think small changes can bring big differences. So with that note, see you on the next video. Bye bye.